guys, welcome back to Pastor Rob Fishing. I apologize for the lack of videos over the last few weeks. We have had a hectic couple of weeks, perhaps like many of you, with the snow and ice storm. And then my wife had surgery. Then I had a wedding to officiate. So I've not had a chance to be on the water in a few weeks. But I want to come to you today and just give you 5 baits that I have tied on all year round, 365 days a year, no matter the conditions, pre-spawn, spawn, post-spawn, summer, fall. I have 5 baits, probably more than that, but I'm going to choose 5 for you today to talk about that I have tied on all year long. And the first one that I want to highlight is, if I can get it out here, is a crankbait. All year long I have some form of crankbait tied on. You know, whether that's a square bill, whether that's a shallow running crankbait, a deep diving crankbait. I have some form of crankbait tied on all year long, and most of the time I have multiple crankbaits tied on, multiple colors, multiple depth range, but I have a crankbait tied on all year long. Second, I have a simple Texas rig tied on all year. Most of the time I have some form of creature bait behind it, but I have a Texas rig tied on all year long. You know, with all of the different baits and presentations that we have now, it seems like the fishing industry is just exploding with different techniques and things like that. A lot of times we forget about the Texas rig, and it can be a very dangerous bait. You know, running down the bank and you see a lay down, more times than not I'm going to pick up that Texas rig, or I'm going to pick up this next bait, and I would venture to say this is a bait that most fishermen have tied on all year long, but it's a shaky head. You see here I got a Cinco on the back of it, but I have a shaky head tied on anytime that I go out. And again, most of the time I have multiple different weights and different baits, but I have a shaky head tied on all year long. Now this next one may surprise you, but it is a Carolina rig. I have a Carolina rig tied on, and to me this is just a confidence bait. It's a very versatile bait. You can fish it deep, you can fish it shallow, you can fish it in brush. I really like to fish it in grass flats, but a Carolina rig, and I want you to see there, I use the stoppers, I don't use the swivel. For me it's just easier to adjust my length. You don't have to have a leader line. You know, it's all on the same line, but I can adjust this from 1 foot to 3 foot within a matter of 30 seconds if I wanted to. But I always have a Carolina rig tied on, and I fish it all year round. You know, I have some success on it in the summer like a lot of folks, but I also catch fish on it in the winter as well. I probably don't throw it pre-spawn, spawn as much, but I always have it ready and in my rod box just in case I need it. And then the last one that I have tied on, and again I'll have 2 or 3 of these ready to go, different sizes, different colors, but is Faithful Jig. You know, many people fish a jig and you just can't go wrong with it. Again, it's one of these baits where you can fish it shallow, you can fish it deep, you can fish it fast, you can fish it slow. I use it to cover water. I use there's not really a bad time or a bad way to fish a jig. It's an easy presentation, and a lot of folk carry a jig when they go fishing. But this particular jig I'm excited about because of this hook. I hope you guys can see that. But that hook right there, for me, just gives me so much confidence. This jig right here is made by a company, J&K Performance Tackle. They're local here out of Somerset. But you know, there's so many different companies that make jigs, so many very popular companies, Strike King, Missile Baits. There's just so many D&L. There's so many jig companies out there, and you know me, I like to kind of support the local businesses, the mom and pop shops. And I ran across this company. Actually, I became friends with the guy that owns it, and he gave me a few of these jigs to try out. And you know, of course, I kind of had my favorite jig that I've had for years and had hundreds, even thousands of them. But I tried them out, and I was so impressed with that hook. That is a 4/0 owner hook. It's thick. It's got a unique gap in it. I don't know if you guys can see that. But what I love about that hook is it does not let go. When you catch a fish, your landing ratio with this hook, I promise you, will go up. It's a chore sometimes to get this hook unbuttoned when you catch a fish. But I just really love these jigs now, and as a matter of fact, I'm in the process of selling all of my jigs and going strictly to J&K Performance Tackle jigs, solely because of that hook that they put in that head. And for the next 4-6 weeks, I've talked to the guys at J&K, and they are going to do a promotion. They're going to partner with me to help you guys get some of those jigs yourself and get them in your tackle box and let you try them. And they're going to give you 15% off for the next 4 to 6 weeks, each and every jig. They got football jigs, they have flipping jigs. They're coming out with a new swim jig that I'm excited about. They're not on the market just yet, but I think you will be able to pre-order those. But you're going to be able to get 15% off, and that's whether you order 1 jig or 100 jigs. They're going to honor that discount. And when you go to their website, I'm going to link their website in the description below. But use promo code PRF15. So Pastor Rob Fishing, PRF15, and that'll get you 15% off and get you some of these jigs in your box and get you ready. But guys, I just want to close with, you know, most of these baits that I just mentioned, they are always tied on because I have confidence in them. It's a confidence thing for me. When the fishing's tough, I don't want to be trying different techniques. I don't want to be trying different presentations, different baits. I want to go to something that I've caught fish on before. And to me, these are 5 that I have tied on year round, 365 days a year. It doesn't matter what the season, what the water temp is. These are 5 that I have tied on and in my boat. So leave me a comment below. Tell me your 5 that you have tied on all year round. If you don't have 5, maybe it's 1 or 2, but let me know. I would be curious to see what baits that you have tied on all year round. Guys, God bless you. Good fishing. We'll see you on the water.